Imagine waking up one day and realizing that everything you feared, the chaos, the uncertainty, the messines of life, could actually be the key to unlocking your true power. What if all you've been taught about control and safety was a lie? What if the storm you've been avoiding is the very thing that holds your greatest potential? Friedrich Nietzsche believed that only through embracing chaos could we truly break free from society's expectations and become who we're meant to be. What if it's not the storm that's your enemy, but your refusal to step into it? Have you ever felt a deep sense of discomfort when life seems to spiral out of control? When the walls of your carefully constructed world begin to shake and tremble, it's almost as if your whole existence is at risk. We've all experienced this feeling, the anxiety that comes when things get too uncertain, too unpredictable. It's a primal response, an instinct that drives us to seek safety, to crave control, to find comfort in routine. But what if I told you that this very instinct, this deep-seated fear of chaos, is what keeps you from living a truly meaningful life? You see, from the moment we're born, society teaches us to avoid the unknown, to fear uncertainty, and to seek comfort in what we know. We are taught that life must be stable, predictable, and controlled. The more we strive for order, the more we build walls around ourselves to protect us from the messines of life. But in doing so, we miss something crucial, the true essence of growth. This fear of chaos isn't just an individual issue. It's deeply embedded in the fabric of our culture. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher who dared to question everything, saw this problem clearly. Nietzsche believed that society's emphasis on order and stability had a suffocating effect on humanity's potential. From the moment we're born, we are conditioned to avoid chaos, to suppress the unknown, and to value control above all else. This conditioning leads to a life where we cling to the familiar, to the known, and avoid stepping into the unpredictable. But in doing so, we miss out on what it means to truly live. Consider how much of your life is dictated by your fear of the unknown. How often have you stayed in a job that drains you because it feels safe? Or perhaps you've stayed in a relationship because it provides comfort, even though deep down, you know it isn't right. These are examples of how we allow the fear of chaos to hold us back. Instead of embracing the unknown, we try to control it, shaping our lives around the desire for stability. Nietzsche understood that this fear of chaos isn't something to be conquered or avoided. It's something that must be embraced. He argued that true freedom comes not from avoiding the unknown, but from diving into it, allowing ourselves to be shaped by it. It's only when we confront the chaos head-on that we can break free from the constraints of societal expectations and truly find ourselves. But why is this so hard to do? Why do we resist it at all costs? The answer lies in the very nature of how we are conditioned. From a young age, we are taught that the world is a place of danger and unpredictability. We are told to seek stability, to avoid risk, and to value certainty above all else. This conditioning is reinforced by every system in our society: education, family, media, all of it, pushing us towards the safety of predictability. And yet, while we are told that safety is the key to happiness, we are simultaneously taught to avoid the very force that could lead to our greatest growth: chaos. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist who explored the depths of the human unconscious, shed light on this idea through his concept of the shadow. The shadow is the part of ourselves that we hide from others and often from ourselves. It represents the chaotic, untamed, and wild aspects of our nature that we deem unacceptable or undesirable. Jung believed that by repressing the shadow, we limit our ability to grow and evolve. When we suppress these parts of ourselves, we create a divided self, a fragmented personality. This is where the chaos lies, the parts of us that we are afraid to acknowledge. The more we try to control and suppress them, the more they come to control us in ways we don't understand. We begin to act out in ways that sabotage our relationships, our careers, and our happiness. These chaotic parts of us, though hidden, continue to shape our lives in profound ways, often without us even realizing it. Think about the times in your life when you felt conflicted. Maybe you've acted impulsively, doing something you later regretted. Or perhaps you've stayed stuck in a situation simply because it was familiar. These moments are often the result of the shadow asserting itself, trying to break free from the constraints we've placed on it. And yet, we ignore it, burying it deeper, thinking that if we just keep everything under control, we will find peace. The irony here is that by avoiding chaos and suppressing the parts of ourselves that we fear, we only create more conflict. Nietzsche believed that it is only by embracing chaos, by stepping into the unknown, that we can truly transcend these limitations. When we embrace the chaos, we allow ourselves to be transformed. Instead of resisting, we begin to dance with the unpredictable forces of life. This is the essence of freedom to be who we truly are, without the constraints of societal conditioning. But here's the catch. The longer we resist chaos, the more we lose. The more we cling to the familiar, the more we deny ourselves the opportunity to evolve. The more we seek control, the more we become prisoners of our own making. Nietzsche understood that to truly live, to fully realize our potential, we must be willing to step into the chaos. And while that might sound terrifying, it's the very thing that leads to growth, creativity, and transformation. You might be asking yourself, how do I begin to embrace this chaos? The first step is recognizing that the fear you feel is not your enemy. It's your invitation. Every time you feel that discomfort, that pull to retreat back into what's comfortable, remember that it's in these moments that true growth happens. It's in the chaos that we are forced to confront ourselves, to break free from the limits of what we've known, and to become who we were meant to be. In the next part, we'll explore how this hidden fear of chaos silently shapes not just our individual lives, but the very structure of society. We'll see how this resistance to the unknown holds the keys to your deepest desires and the person you've always been meant to become. Stay with me, because in the next chapter, we'll reveal the unseen consequences of living in fear of chaos and how you can begin to break free. Have you ever wondered how much of your life is quietly shaped by your fear of chaos? The truth is, this fear doesn't just affect one part of your life, it seeps into everything. It influences the choices you make, the relationships you build, and the way you see yourself and the world around you. You may think you're in control, but what if I told you that your deep-rooted fear of uncertainty is guiding you, making decisions for you, even when you're not aware of it? Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're walking down a familiar path, one you've walked 100 times. It feels safe, comfortable, but as you walk, you start to notice the path is getting narrower. The trees are crowding in, and the air is growing thick. You've walked this path before, but something feels different. Suddenly, the path you thought you knew so well becomes the very thing you need to escape. But instead of turning back, you keep walking, stuck in the routine of safety that no longer serves you. You stay there, afraid to step into the unknown, even though you know it's the only way forward. This is what Nietzsche saw happening in our lives, our fear of the unknown. Our resistance to chaos keeps us trapped in lives that no longer fit. U.S. We stay stuck in patterns, routines, and relationships, even when they don't nourish us. And yet, we continue walking down that narrow path, convinced that the familiar is all we need, all we deserve. But in truth, it's the walls we've built around ourselves that prevent us from living fully. Think about the last time you felt stuck. Maybe it was in a job you hated, or a relationship that drained you, but you stayed because it felt safer than stepping into the unknown. Nietzsche believed that this fear of chaos isn't just a personal struggle, it's a societal one. The systems we live in, from the way we are raised to how we are taught to behave, reinforce this need for control. We are taught to seek order, stability, and comfort. But this quest for control leaves us numb. It prevents us from experiencing the fullness of life, from discovering who we really are. The unseen consequences of living in this state of fear are far-reaching. First, when we resist chaos, we lose touch with the parts of ourselves that crave growth and transformation. We suppress our desires, our dreams, and our true potential. The more we try to maintain order and control, the more we cut ourselves off from the chaos that could help us evolve. Every time we shy away from uncertainty, we lose a little piece of our ability to grow, to stretch beyond what we thought was possible. But it doesn't stop there. This fear of chaos, this reluctance to embrace change, doesn't just keep us from growing, it keeps us from truly living. Our relationships become shallow, our work becomes uninspiring, and we start to feel like we're simply going through the motions. We seek comfort, yes, but in doing so, we create a life that is small, confined, and ultimately unfulfilling. We put ourselves in a box and refuse to let anything disrupt it. But as Nietzsche argued, true freedom doesn't come from avoiding chaos. It comes from learning to thrive in it. Now, imagine you've spent your entire life avoiding the discomfort of change, only to find yourself later in life looking back, wondering why you never took those risks, why you never stepped outside of your comfort zone. How many times have you let fear of the unknown stop you from going after something you wanted, whether it was a new job, a new relationship, or even a new way of thinking? Every time you hold back, you miss an opportunity to evolve, to experience something greater than what you've known. This is the hidden cost of resisting chaos. The more you stay in the comfort zone, the more you lock yourself out of your true potential. And it's not just about missing out on opportunities. It's about suppressing who you really are. Every time you try to control your life, to keep things predictable, you push away the parts of yourself that crave change, that crave freedom. It's like holding a flower in your hand and refusing to let it bloom because you're too afraid of the wind that might come along and shake it. But here's the thing, chaos is not the enemy. It's the catalyst for transformation. Nietzsche understood this at a deep level. He knew that it is only when we step into the unknown, when we stop trying to control everything, that we truly discover who we are and what we're capable of. The chaos that we fear is not a force that destroys us. It's a force that shapes us, molds us, and helps us grow. It forces us to confront our deepest fears, our weaknesses, and ultimately, our greatest strengths. When we allow ourselves to move through the chaos, we begin to break free from the chains that hold us back. We stop living according to other people's expectations. We stop letting the fear of what might happen dictate our choices. Instead, we start to live boldly, to take risks, to embrace the messiness of life. And in doing so, we begin to tap into our true potential. But it's not just about personal growth. The impact of living in fear of chaos extends beyond the individual. It affects society as a whole. When we all fear uncertainty and avoid chaos, we become a culture of stagnation. We cling to what we know, to what's safe, and in doing so, we miss out on the innovation, the creativity, and the progress that chaos brings. Think about the world's greatest thinkers, creators, and leaders. They didn't avoid the chaos. They stepped into it. They embraced the unknown, and it was through that courage that they made their mark on the world. You see, the more we resist chaos, the more we contribute to a culture that values comfort over growth, certainty over possibility. But there's another way. There's a way to break free, to stop fearing the unknown and start using it to our advantage. In the next section, we'll explore how to break free from this trap, how to reclaim the power that's been waiting for you all along. Trust me, this is a journey you won't want to miss. Stay with me, and let's dive deeper into the rebellion. How to break free. There comes a moment in every journey, whether it's a personal quest, a career change, or a shift in your mindset, when you realize that you've been fighting the wrong battle all along. You've spent so much of your life trying to control the chaos, to avoid the discomfort, to shape your world into something predictable. But what if the real rebellion, the real act of freedom, is not about fighting the chaos, but about embracing it? What if the secret to breaking free isn't about avoiding the unknown, but stepping straight into it? Imagine that for a moment. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a storm. Yes, the wind howling, the rain pouring down, everything spinning around you, and instead of feeling powerless, you stand tall, centered, and alive. The storm isn't something to fear. It's something you've decided to dance with. This is what Nietzsche meant when he spoke of embracing chaos. It's not about being reckless or abandoning structure entirely. It's about understanding that chaos is a force, and like any force, it can be harnessed, directed, and used to shape the course of your life. Nietzsche believed that the moment we stop resisting the chaos, we stop being its victim. When we try to fight against life's unpredictability, we lose our power. The power to shape our own reality comes when we let go of the need for control and allow the unpredictable forces of life to guide us. The path to freedom doesn't lie in building walls to protect ourselves from the chaos. It lies in tearing those walls down and allowing ourselves to be shaped by the very forces we've been avoiding. But how do we start this rebellion? How do we begin to embrace chaos without feeling overwhelmed, without letting it consume us? The first step is to stop seeing the unknown as something to fear, but as something that offers us a chance to grow. Nietzsche's perspective was radical, and it's one we need to adopt. If we're going to break free from the chains of our conditioning, think about the times in your life when you've stepped into uncertainty. Perhaps it was a new job, a move to a different city, or maybe it was starting a new relationship. At first, it was terrifying, wasn't it? There was fear of failure, of the unknown, of what might happen. But as you move forward, something beautiful began to happen. You began to adapt, to grow, to realize that you could handle the chaos. You discovered new sides of yourself you didn't even know existed. That's what happens when you stop resisting uncertainty. You start to uncover hidden strengths. In fact, the moments when you felt the most alive, the most empowered, were probably when you were facing the chaos head-on, stepping into the unknown with nothing but courage and curiosity to guide you. Think back to those moments. Wasn't that when you felt closest to your true self? Nietzsche believed that life is about more than just following rules, more than just living according to society's expectations. It's about creating your own path, one that's shaped by your willingness to embrace the messines of existence. And that's the real rebellion. The courage to stand up against the cultural pressures to stay safe, to stay within the lines, to avoid the chaos. The courage to say, I'm not afraid of what might happen. I'm going to make the most of it, whatever it is. This rebellion isn't about being reckless or throwing caution to the wind. It's about reclaiming the power that's been hidden under all the layers of fear and control. It's about choosing freedom over comfort. When you stop trying to control every part of your life, when you begin to see chaos as something to dance with rather than something to avoid, you start to take ownership of your life in a way you never have before. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the creator of your own reality. The beautiful thing is that this power isn't some distant, abstract concept. It's already inside of you, waiting to be unlocked. Nietzsche knew that embracing chaos is not an easy task. It's not about rejecting all structure or stability. It's about rethinking your relationship with the unknown. It's about realizing that the chaos doesn't need to break you. It can make you. Think of the greatest artists, the thinkers, the innovators of the world. They didn't shy away from uncertainty. They sought it. They found beauty in it, freedom in it, and used it to fuel their creativity and vision. This is the shift that needs to happen in your life. The moment you stop trying to resist the storm and start dancing with it, you unlock an entirely new level of freedom. The chaos no longer controls you. You control it. And once you do that, once you learn to use the unpredictability of life to your advantage, you will find that you have the power to shape your own story. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I really start doing this? The answer isn't complicated. The first step is to change your mindset. Every time life throws you a curveball, instead of seeing it as a threat, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this situation help me grow? Embrace the discomfort. Embrace the uncertainty. And most importantly, trust yourself. Trust that no matter what happens, you are capable of handling it. It's not about eliminating fear. Fear is natural. What matters is how you respond to it. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, let it fuel you. Instead of running away from chaos, welcome it. And as you do, you'll find that the very thing you've been afraid of is the very thing that will lead you to your greatest potential. So, here's the big question. Are you going to continue hiding from the chaos, or are you ready to step into it? The moment you do, you will no longer be a victim of your circumstances. You'll be the creator of your own destiny. And that, my friend, is where true freedom lies. In the next part, we're going to explore the final, most profound realization that will shift your entire perspective on life and chaos. Stay with me, because this truth will change everything. The next chapter is the key to unlocking the full power of your life. And here it is, the ultimate truth that will change everything. You thought you knew. Chaos is not your enemy. It is your power. The very thing you've been avoiding, the fear of the unknown, is the force that will propel you to new heights. Nietzsche understood that true freedom comes not from avoiding chaos, but from embracing it. Life isn't about seeking comfort. It's about stepping into the messines, the uncertainty, and using it to grow. The moment you stop resisting and start flowing with the chaos, you'll unlock a freedom and strength you never knew you had. The storm isn't here to destroy you. It's here to transform you.